and welcome to another Vintage Cube Draft League. This is Oldmanpoole. We've opened up a pretty solid pack here. Nothing like absolutely stunning. Time Twister's really good. Gristlebrand's really good. Volcanic Island's probably somewhere in the mix. Skull Clamp I'm a little bit less high on than a lot of people, but it's solid too. I think I'm probably going to take the Gristlebrand here. We showed off the power of Time Twister in, I guess not my last draft series, but one before that. In a pretty sweet Storm deck. I would like to do Storm again, but I guess we should try and do something a little bit different. Gristlebrand's sweet though. Very, very good reanimation target. Very, very good if you just get lots of fast mana in general. Probably, I mean, it costs 8. That's not cheap, but gotta be one of the best payoffs at a high mana. It does get answered by just about any removal spell, but you still draw a whole bunch of cards generally before that, so I think he seems pretty sweet. Like I said, Volcanic Island, Jace, probably, Time Twister, maybe Skull Clamp, other good cards in that pack. Ooh, wow. Well, Consecrated Sphinx is super, super good. I think this is... I don't know. I mean, I think I'd take, like, Moxen over it, like Soul Ring, that sort of thing, but I'm not sure I'd pass Consecrated Sphinx for much else. Monastery Mentor is also probably in that same high quality level. I would really, really like to be able to show off Crucible of Worlds sometime too. I haven't had the chance to really play with that, but you can do some pretty sweet stuff. And obviously, if you get like a Wasteland, it's super solid. If you end up with Fetch Land, you can draw a whole bunch of cards from there as well. I think we're going to take Consecrated Sphinx. It fits maybe a little bit better with Gristlebrand as kind of a go bigger and just have a lot of inevitability powerhouse. Monastery Mentor is pretty solid too. I could see that actually being the pick here. I think I'm just going to take Consecrated Sphinx. I guess we could also take natural... Well, I guess that's only green creatures. Never mind. That makes it quite a bit worse. Alright, Consecrated Sphinx it is. Enjoyed Ravages of War in our last deck. Can't have to take Gilded Lotus here. It's a little bit expensive as far as fast mana goes. Like, I don't think this is one of the ones that you're super, super excited about, but it does color fix very, very well, and it is still good ramp. Like, if I'm trying to cast a Gristlebrand, there's not a whole huge difference between a Gilded Lotus on 5 and like a Mana Vault on turn 1. They're still both going to make us a solid amount of mana. I don't think there's anything else really in competition here. I mean, I like Eternal Witness, fine. I like Tidehull Sculler, fine. If we were in green or elf, like a green ramp dep, we could go there. You know, just gonna take the Lotus. Oh, I don't know, maybe I overrate Glenelendra, but I think that she's also super, super solid. This is just a very, very good amount of disruption. Your opponent knows it's out there, but a lot of times they can't play around it. You resolve a Glenelendra, and they just kind of look at their hand, and they look at the board, and they're just like, well, you're just going to get 2 really, really good spells, kind of no matter how I cut it. I think she's probably our next pick. I don't think there's anything else here super close. I do like Dragonlord Ojutai, fine. Lodestone Golem is pretty sweet in some decks, although we're not really shaping up to be that. Guess Fauna Shaman maybe would be good. I don't think it's real close, though. Glenelendra all the way. Plus, it's 4. Look how much we lowered our mana curve with that. Ooh. Could do Eureka. Also do Vendilion Click. Do Dark Slick Shores. There's a handful of choices here. Eureka's funny because you can go really big for the deck with it, but there's also times where just like your opponent has also gone big and they just like put an Emrakul into play and you're like, oh, that's pretty sad. It's just very draw dependent, and the problem is you kind of want to build a deck that just has a ton of expensive stuff with you playing your Eureka, but if you don't draw Eureka, it's pretty bad then. I think I'm probably just going to take Click here. You can also see the Dark Slick Shores. Eureka might wheel, but I'm not confident in that pick. There's Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, another good ramp payoff. I wonder if we're going to get enough colorless ramp to really be happy with that. We are getting pretty solid blue, though. I think these are all pretty high picks. Could just take Mole Drifter or Commit to Memory here, both of which I think are solid. Ulamog is good, but I'm kind of concerned that we're not going to be able to get there, and if we end up with a ton of really high cost stuff, it can be pretty disastrous. I'm going to take Mole Drifter over Commit to Memory. It's probably close. I am a sucker for Mole Drifter, though. Okay, well, I'm not usually big on Sword of Feast and Famine, but, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't ramp you per se, it just lets you play more cheap things. So it lets you play like 2 things that cost 5. It's not real great. Like you could play 1 thing that costs 10. Don't think we're in the Forge Master deck. Guess Deranged Hermit would be okay. Treasure Cruise is solid if you end up with some more like cantrips, which we don't really have here. Spellskite's maybe not terrible. I think we do take Treasure Cruise, but I'm not sure it'll make our main deck. Okay. Tempted to take Zealous Conscripts here. We're not really into red yet, but we can probably be kind of flexible with our colors here too. It has pretty solid upside where you can take your opponent's Planeswalkers and ultimate them or down them or whatever else, and that's pretty good. They also have the advantage that yeah, they work very well with like a Kiki Jiki, the Splinter Twin combos, so I think we're going to take that here over like Elesh Norn. Pretty solid, I guess. Probably a good Eureka target, but I don't know. You just need some other effects like Eureka, I guess, really make it exciting. Could take Growing Rights. You have to have 4 creatures, right? Yeah. I mean, this is Gaia's Cradle, kinda. But you just have to have a lot of creatures, I think, to make it good. I think I might take Scarab God over... I don't think we're necessarily aggressive enough to be a Geist deck. Delver's looking kind of bad in this deck. I'm not sure Scarab God is a great main deck option. I think you might bring it in out of the sideboard. Some decks just don't play much that it works with. Okay, Gifts Ungiven came back. I think we'd probably play on Burial Rites in this deck, so that actually might not be a terrible thing to pick up with Gristlebrand here. I'm not opposed to Glorybringer. Chandra's fine. But let's take Gifts Ungiven. It has the advantage that it keeps us kind of in blue, too. So what this deck is absolutely screaming for is some fast mana, though. I could play Charticourse just for some early filtering, since we don't have a lot early. I don't think we're in an Eldritch deck or a Gutter Snipe deck. I guess it's not impossible we should shift into green for, like, Arbor Elf. We have seen a decent number of, like, reasonable green cards come around. Lodestone Golem or Oath of Nissa here. I guess Oath of Nissa. I don't think that Lodestone Golem's gonna find a place in a deck that's trying to play big expensive cards. Okay, Darkslick Shores is nice. We did not pick up really any lands this time around, which is kind of unfortunate. I guess let's take the Tree Speaker. Green seems potentially pretty open. If we open up something really good, maybe we just slide into that. No, we could just take Show and Tell here. It's kind of a smaller Eureka. We could also just take a solid land. Like, Show and Tell is going to be pretty good with Gristlebrand or Consecrated Sphinx. And nothing else is, like, truly nuts, but it's solid. Could just take Scalding Tarn. It's one of the better lands that we could have for this deck, too, and we do want to pick up some lands. There's also Liliana, although I'm not sure Liliana facilitates a go big strategy all that well. Primeval Titans here, I guess. It's pretty solid. Ramps us the last couple of bits up if necessary. I guess let's take Scalding Tarn. I think I like that better than Show and Tell. We don't necessarily have to play Gristlebrand too, we could just end up being kind of a more like blue sort of value deck. Duretti is solid, but not really a deck for it. Tinker is quite good if we end up with some more like cheap artifacts, but we really haven't seen very many. Don't think we want Eidolon. I guess Izzet Charm is just okay. And there's Entomb if we want to try and go on the reanimation route, but I don't love that. Yeah, I think maybe having a little bit more cheap interaction early is not our worst idea. Okay, don't think this is an opposition deck. Do Lotus Bloom? Is this a Lotus Bloom deck? A little bit interesting. You do have to suspend it, but we're maybe trying to play for the long game anyway, and it does potentially get like a fast Griselbrand. I'd say Tezzeret's good, but we just, like, I don't think we've even like passed Signets, we just haven't seen like any of them. Take Through Time is good, but not dramatically better than Treasure Cruise, and I don't think you want both. I'm kind of just tempted to take Lotus Bloom. I don't know if that's like absurd. It's obviously pretty bad. Like, this is really, it wants to be a storm card, right? You just line it up so you'll suspend it and then get a free spell and a whole bunch of mana on the turn that you need to storm off. Maybe we just Seachrome Coast is better. Just don't like Lotus Bloom much in your average deck. Mind Twist is another very, very good card if you end up with a lot of mana accelerant, but we just are not seeing much. We take Council's Judgment, which is fine. We can also take Shelldock Isle, which is just like a solid land. This gives you some good value later on. I could see Mind Twist being the pick, but I mean, this is pretty solid even if you're just going ordinarily up the curve. Yeah, maybe we should. If we can afford to play it with black, this is a pretty nice payoff. If you like do it for 3, it's a better Mind Rot, which I think is probably closer to playable than you'd think in the cube. Shelldock Isle's good though too. It's kind of a free roll. Kind of like Mind Twist. That might not be correct. There's things of the Steel Wind. Ooh, I think we're just gonna take the Signet, even though it's off color. It's funny. I feel like the Selesnya Signet often comes around late because you rarely have a great green-white deck. So I think people are a little bit less excited to pick it up than the on-color ones. But we just need some acceleration here, and this is not a bad one. Sinks of the Steel Wind, obviously pretty good against, or pretty good with Tinker if it comes around, but I don't think that's real likely. We'd play Repeal, probably play Firebolt, or at least out of the sideboard, but we need some Signets, need some stuff like that. You could take Baleful Strix here, pull the Leviathan's another good Tinker target, but again, I don't think it's crazy likely that comes back. And Reanimate hasn't seemed like all that open kind of period. Things like Terastodon are also not crazy exciting. I could see taking Necrotal over Baleful Strix, but I like the Strix a lot. If we're going to be in black anyways to some degree, it's alright. Jace. What does Jace do? Not too much right now. We have one fetch land. Or sorry, Brainstorm is what I was thinking there. Jace is kind of the other thing in contention, though. I think we'll probably take the Jace or the Brainstorm. We've got some other good cards, like Flicker Wisp is fine. Not really in white. We're kind of hoping we'll get on Burial Rites to go along with our Gifts Ungiven, but outside of that, and I'm not even sure if we've got a lot to set that up right now. We've got Is It Charm and Chart of Course, that's kind of it. And we've only got 2 huge great late game threats. Ace is a pretty good card, though. I'm happy to take him. Now, Ugin is another good later one. We also have Zealous Exarch here, though. So Zealous Conscripts works with Splinter. It's the other side. So Deceiver Exarch would go along with it. Creeping Tar Pit's also good. Just worried that if we pick something like this, even though I think Ugin is stronger than these other cards, that we just can't necessarily play it. This is a close one, though. I think I might just take the Exarch. Creeping Tar Pit. Depends on if we see something. Yeah, took too long. Okay, well, Show and Tell did come around. I don't think we want Wood Foothills. Yeah, there's a chance we play Show and Tell. Don't think we're in Cabal Ritual mode. Don't think we want the Griselbrand that much. I guess it's maybe okay with Mind Twist too. Don't like Lumbering Falls. I don't think that's gonna make the cut. Lion's Eye Diamond definitely. It's just a worse Cabal Ritual probably. Scroll Rack. I don't know. Maybe Duretti. Duretti's not a terrible card if we end up needing playables. Some good or reasonable green stuff here. Maelstrom Pulse, Tooth and Nail. Guess I'll take Tezzeret. Painful Truce. Ulamog did come back. When he's put into the graveyard from anywhere, don't shuffle his or graveyard. Okay, so that is a trigger. So I guess it would work to reanimate. I'll take Painful Truths over it though. We passed some really high, like, big stuff, and I know, Matt, some of you are probably like, why? If everything else looks just... Like, if you're thinking you're gonna go big, why? I kind of like having that as an out for us, like we could end up going into a big mana deck, but we don't necessarily have to. Because we have some, like, solid interaction, like, early on, too. Ooh. Wow. So, this is actually a choice. We have Treachery, which is absurd, and we have Mox Pearl, which is also absurd. I said earlier that Consecrated Sphinx is one of the few things I would consider, like, maybe taking over Moxen. I think Treachery's another one. Power is power, and this is a deck that really wants the power. Treachery is really good, though. I think we probably just have to take Mox Pearl. We would really like to speed up our early game just a little bit, but I think that is a very close pick. Okay, Rakdos Return is a slightly worse version of Mind Twist. Got... what else here? Vector Fiction's fine. Vulcan Shackles is actually pretty good in this deck, so we're going to end up with a lot of blue, I think. And then maybe playing Gristlebrand for black, maybe playing, like, Mind Twist, Painful Truths. Maybe, like, pretty strong blue with a little bit of a splash of red and black. If we'd taken Tinker earlier, we could be picking up a lot of solid artifacts, but that ship has sailed. I think Rakdos Return with a double splash is probably too much. So Vidalcan Shackles or Factor Fiction? Yeah, let's take Shackles. Shackles is pretty good. I think we're gonna have a lot of islands. At least the potential to have a lot of islands. Ooh, Worn Power Stone I like too. This is not one of the most powerful mana accelerants, but it's still pretty good. Like, it's cube level power, it's just not like mana crypt level power. I think we'll take that. I like Venser too, but don't think we have enough to go for the Winter Orb. Do like Dak Faden though, might just take him. Kolagon's Command is fine, although, again, I'm not sure I want to have both of our potential splash colors in one card. Let's take Dak, I think he's pretty good. Coercive Portal I've enjoyed more than I probably should. There's also a Gruul Signet here. Also Electrolyze. Also Mana Confluence. Also Torrential Gearhulk, although I don't know if we have tons and tons of stuff for the Torrential. If we have some, we'd probably play it. I'm a sucker for Coercive Portal, but I think I like the Gruul Signet more. Take Time Spiral. It's a little bit interesting. The fact that it's free is fairly significant. Trinket Mage goes and gets us Mox Pearl, but that's it. Badlands, I guess, is a pretty good land. It would let Scalding Tarn find black. It's probably better than Time Spiral for this deck so far. I wouldn't mind picking up a couple of these like lightning strikes that are going around too. We don't have a ton of interaction. Ooh, Ashiok's pretty good, especially this late. There's also Kiki Jiki though. So it goes off with Zealous Conscripts. Triple Reds a lot though too. I'm not sure we got there on the Kiki Jiki to really make it work. I think I might take Ashiok. I think Ashiok's a more powerful individual card. Kiki Jiki obviously has the potential to just win the game, but I'm not sure we're going to hit another payoff for him anyway at this point. And Ashiok's really good. Okay, Spirebluff Canal. It's tempting. Tetheret's fine. We've moved up a little bit in artifacts. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. I think I just want the land, honestly, though. I just want to make our mana a little bit better. We're not hurting for playables here. And, well, I think Tezzeret would be fine. It's not broken. This Tezzeret may make the cut now, though. If we can untap one artifact with him, it's not terrible. He does go and find some powerful stuff. Okay, so coming back, we got a Watery Grave and a Wandering Fumarole. Scalding Tarn does get black, we said, right? Yeah. So that means Watery Grave is a little bit less exciting, but still probably fine. Sure. I think we'll take that over the Fumarole, at least. Rakdos Return came back. You have some lands for it. Also have Riftwing Cloudskate. Which is fine, but not real exciting. I think we'll take Rakdos Return. take the disc. We don't have tons of creatures a lot of the time. I think Cedar or Exarch's making the cut. I don't know, maybe, I don't know about Kiki-Jiki. We would have had to really kind of twist our mana. I think I'll take the disc. Not much here for us. Guess Yawgmoth will. Yeah, no one's in Storm, it looks like, but I guess I'll take Rift Bolt. And Time Spiral did come back. Do we want to play Time Spiral? I'm not even sure we do. Only untap lands. I think I might take Trinket Mage over it. And Recruiter of the Guard. Yeah. Seems like a lot of sweet cards came around kind of there at the end. Some good enabling cards, but not for us. I don't think Trinket Mage is great with only one. Maybe we should have just taken Time Spiral. Okay, so what do we like out of this deck? Not going to play Scarab God main deck. We want to play Gristlebrand? I kind of see it either way. We do have a little bit more ramp. Like, I don't think we're super unhappy to play him. If you ever resolve it, it's super good. Can we realistically afford to play 4 black very often? Probably only if we have the Gilded Lotus. And I think Gristlebrand maybe didn't quite get there. We maybe didn't give him quite as much credit as he deserved during the draft. We probably could have forced it. I mean, if we're taking him out, that means Show and Tell comes out. I'm not sure we want 2 of these effects. We'll take out Rakdos Return. I think Mind Twist is good enough on its own, but Rakdos Return's significantly worse. Probably take out Gilded Lotus. I guess now we're kind of coming down on the edge of too few playables. You want to play Disc main deck? We've got a bunch of cards that kind of give us value when we play them. Gifts Ungiven didn't end up being absurd either. Maybe we're a little bit tighter on playables than I thought we'd be. If that's the case, maybe we do play like Rakdos Return. I think Gristlebrand's just a little bit too much. We could play Rift Bolt. It's not terrible, just not exciting. Yeah, I probably should have taken Time Spiral. I think I would play it. I think that was a mistake. Yeah, I mean, let's put in Disc, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, we have a lot of artifacts, too. It's maybe not its best here. Okay, is this our final list? Do we dislike everything here? Got some good filtering. Gifts Ungiven's probably not real exciting, but I think it's probably better than a lot of our alternatives we could play. I guess we could play Scarab God. It's a little bit better with gifts. It's frequently going to have some effect, and I guess even if it doesn't, if they just can't get rid of it, it still beats fairly effectively. Yeah, Scarab God's probably a little bit better than something like our Gifts Ungiven. Although I guess it kind of makes it better to have Gifts Ungiven. I think we'll probably still cut it though. We just don't have any super fantastic synergies with it. And this is without great synergies. Kind of a divination level power. And yeah, I'm not going to play Disc, I don't think. So I think this is our final list here. Having both of those is maybe a little bit much, but if we have a good number of ramp bits, it makes it a little bit better too. And even late in the game, Mind Twist and Rakdos Return often hit a good number of cards. Let's figure out our lands. I'll be right back. Okay, after a little bit of back and forth, I think we decided that we're going to play 3 swamps, 3 mountains, and 6 islands to go along with our Badlands, Scalding Tarn, Watery Grave, and then a couple others, Darkslick Shore and Spire Bluff Canal. This gives us a total of 10 blue sources, 7 black sources, and 7 red sources when you take into account the Gruul Signet. It just seems like pretty solid mana to me. Not like knock your socks off, but pretty good. I'll see you guys for match 1.